Welcome back, guys. We're here at Naples National with my good friend Jake Pleczkowski, head golf professional. We are going to talk about, in part two, we're going to talk about a couple shots around the greens. Fluffy rough lies and tight lies, because Naples National is known for the tight lies. Yeah. It's very fast. For sure. Some of the fastest fringe I've ever putted on. And yes, fastest fringe I've putted on. Yeah. Let's talk about the shot we got. I'm gonna kind of doctor up a couple lies. Fluffy rough. We're going over a bunker. Not too much green to work with. It's gonna roll off on the other side. Let's start out with like mindset. Yeah. I mean, a lot of the amateurs that I work with, they want to hit certain shots, and they go, "How do you hit this shot?" And it's like, well, where do you want the ball to go? Yeah. Is the first question that I like to see answered, regardless of all level. When I work with a higher handicapper and they describe a shot that's too advanced, I try to change that part of their game, that part of their thinking, and saying, you know what, that's a little bit above your pay grade. Yeah. We need to hit a simpler shot and learn how to either pitch out sideways, but
give yourself a 20-footer, 30-footer if it's that bad a scenario.
Sure,
sure. Solid and execute it properly.
Sure. Yeah. So I gave us a couple lies here where you can't get a lot of spin on it. I mean, that's a perfect lie. High handicapper, you can spin this with the proper club. You can spin that one. Yeah. But if you're a good player, this is a tough lie. You can't get really a lot of club on it. What are your thoughts? What's going through your mind here?
The first thing is reading this lie is obviously it's going to come out okay as in height, but then it's got nothing when it lands. Sure. It's got like a plop and then go. Sure. Now the only way to spin this ball is not obviously because we can spin it with a lie, is now we have to spin it with loft. Right. So that would be my idea. How can I get this thing up pretty high without risking this bunker and give myself a chance for a...
Okay, so when you're thinking about this shot, obviously we don't want to miss short in the bunker. Yeah. And how catastrophic is it to go long here? Right.
What's nice about, I think, this like no spin lie is if it just carries the bunker, it runs up to the hole. Right. Maybe you catch it even better than maybe it looks. And you land it closer to the hole by accident, and maybe you're a little past the hole putting up the hill. So kind of a nice, comfortable shot here. Okay. You can just trust the lie, and it's probably going to give you a little bit of resistance down there. Okay. So maybe pretend it's not a fluffy lie, and just that little extra of resistance that's going to slow down your club head speed.
Well, since I'm being put on the spot, I'm going to go first. I'm going to go with my lob wedge. This is my most lofted club that I own, and when I see this, I'm going open stance, narrow stance, and it's not really too fancy. It's not, the swing's not fancy. My open club face is, and I almost just need to hit it hard enough.
Yeah, and also you rehearsed exactly what you're trying to do. Right. Which is super important. If you instant replay that, I guarantee you that's exactly what the shot's going to look like. All right. And that's what good short games do.
Super nervous here. At Naples National, every shot you hit
makes you nervous.
Super nervous. Yeah. A little open.
There's the high flight, and then see how it took off there.
Man.
That was good.
Yeah, really good. Yeah. That came out nice. I see a lot of golfers, they hit a shot like that, go, well, it came up short. I go, well, first of all, it's like 6 feet short. That's really good. And he goes, well, I got to make a 6-footer. I go, well, you shouldn't be here in the first place. Yeah. When you have that level of concern, it's almost you're either really good or really bad.
Doesn't match your game.
Right. and that's a very important part. I think hitting the appropriate shot for your skill level is the best way to build consistency, confidence to lower your score.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. If you go, man, that was a pretty good shot, maybe you've got some confidence to make that putt. Maybe,
right.
Maybe you don't, but worst case scenario, you're not going to blow up from knowing that you hit a good shot. So.
Right. All right, let's see what you got.
Okay. You want to hit this down lower, or is this good?
No. That's.
All right. I'm just going to land it just short of your ball and watch it go closer.
Okay. Nice.
Didn't get as much resistance there.
Right.
But I hit a good shot. I mean, it hit solid.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those where you would consistently build, hit one after another. They don't all come out perfect. That went just long, great shot.
Yeah.
And, you know, it is what it is.
Adjust for it the next time.
In the long run, you will absolutely learn the touch and the feel. I think that's the mindset. All right, let's go find a tight lie. So we just got done hitting shots around the greens with the fluffy lie, and now we have warmed up to the treacherous tight lie into the green. We're here on the third hole. It is shockingly intimidating. Shockingly intimidating, these lies. All right, so we're going up the hill. And I'll tell you why I think this is difficult. Grain usually runs downhill. So we're going into the grain. We're going up to the top where the green starts. It actually goes away from you.
Yeah, very fast. The last, kind of 20 feet of this 30 feet of green.
I feel like it is into the wind, but like the lie is so difficult. It's not helping that much. What are your options here? What are you thinking? What's going on through your head?
Obviously, depending on your skill level, putting is a pretty nice option here. A lot of our members fairway woods hybrids, which they love.
Sure.
And it takes away that shot that you get up there, and it just doesn't ruin your round. So that they're tired of those round ruiners, so they just take out their hybrids or putter and putt this thing and have a chance at their next shot.
Right.
Us, we think more. What's the easiest path to getting this to not do much? And so this big giant hill and this downhill, we can take a lot of that out by using some loft and just trying to execute this properly. So,
right.
And hopefully, if we don't hit this perfect, our miss is still pretty good in relevance to a not so good 9-iron.
Yeah.
Putter that we're not so quite used to doing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's have you go first this time.
Whew. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, this is the true test, right?
Yeah, and as we talked about in our last piece on the fluffy lie, like, make this exactly how you want to do this shot, and maybe there's something that you'll learn here, like, oh, maybe my hands were too far forward, or it's in the wrong part of my stance. Like,
sure.
Get feedback. I mean, that felt pretty good. Maybe one more. That felt pretty good. Made a nice sound. Now I feel a little bit more relaxed that I did it twice. Now it's time for the show.
Right.
So, little open, have the face open, a little bit forward in my stance, and then just quiet.
Nice.
That's really good. Yeah, it's not slow.
Yeah, absolutely. Right in the center of the face. So I feel like what I saw there was your hands were a little ahead, club face was a little open, but you did a great job of mimicking your practice swing. You go, oh, that was about there. It's about there. It's not quite here. It's about there. It's about. I like that. I like that. I think good players. I think we've all intuitively have done that.
Yeah.
My dad, when I grew up playing tournaments, some of my first few tournaments, he would always say, wherever your lie is, go find a little patch of grass, because I played junior golf tournaments in Southern California, a lot of public golf courses. And to find that patch of grass, you might have to go over here.
Yeah.
And just see what it feels like. See what it really, really feels like.
Totally.
For me, my thought process when it comes to this shot is really dependent on that day. If I'm feeling great, if I'm not, if you guys have played a golf tournament with me, or I've played in the pro member here, I've putted this many times. Remember that time we took a golf trip and we went with a couple members and I missed the green on one and we're like super excited. These two guys walked up because, oh, we're gonna watch you hit this really tight lie. I'm like, guys, I'm gonna putt it.
Yeah.
And that is
wet turf, it just got there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
when I'm a round ruiner.
when I'm feeling good about my game, I have the confidence to do it. But you know, if I'm not, I'll grab the 9-iron, I'll grab the 7-iron, I'll grab the putter.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty good with all of it.
Yeah.
And it's talking about what's most predictable. All right, I'm gonna go with something slightly different. I'm gonna go with my pitching wedge. My mechanics are gonna be very, very similar. Hands are gonna be a touch forward, club face a little open. And when I hit this shot, I'm just thinking about the pace of the ball. For me, I'm not thinking about where do I need to land this ball. Mm-hmm. To me, I'm thinking, okay, what does the pace of this golf ball need to be? The pace of this ball, yep, that looks about right. That just looked, when that came off the face, that ball could have landed anywhere. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And when I think that, the size of my swing, the length of my swing, it's like tossing a ball. You don't really think about the length of your swing. You just go, who am I tossing this ball to?
Yeah.
I think these thoughts are so underrated relative to when guys are talking about technique. What club do I use, more bounce, less bounce? And it's like, there are far much more important questions to answer before you start talking about the technique of the shot.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, when we talk about putting it or hybriding it,
we talked 6 or 7 clubs.
Absolutely.
On this one shot.
And it gets, the simpler the idea, it's not that we can't putt it, we can putt it. I can hit that too, and this too, but I can hit the pitching wedge, I can hit the lob wedge, I can hit it all.
Yeah.
It's what's most comfortable, you know? Let me know in the comments below, like, what questions you have in these difficult situations, because I mean, I try to answer all of them, what's going in through my head. And if it seems too complex, I want you guys to know, when a good player goes out to a golf tournament and has a difficult shot, these are the things that pop up in your head, but the questions are answered very quickly, because it's like an obvious, like, well, obviously on that one I would putt it. Obviously on this one I would, you know, that's not as hard of a lie as it looks. Or it might be easy for you and hard for me.
Yeah.
And there's not one answer. What do you do into the grain tight lie? It's like, well, what's your skill level? You know?
Yeah.
Well, that concludes part 2 of our series here at Naples National. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the like button, ring the bell, and we'll see you on part 3.